Hello friends, this is Dr. Saurabh Patwardhan, and in this video I'll be speaking about an interesting case, a part of which I showed in the previous video, iridofungal coloboma, where the anterior capsule is torn. I had planned a toric IL in this case because of the pre-existing astigmatism. This patient, despite coloboma, had normal macula, so the potential vision of this patient was good. So far this is what has happened in this case. I am going to do Callisto assisted toric IL implantation. That's the plan. There is a iris coloboma, as you can see, and cataract, and in this inferior part what I missed was the capsule was little bit fibrosed, and though I completed the capsulorhexis by using the microcapsulorhexis forceps here, during the hydrodissection there was tear of the anterior capsule, which possibly happened because of the weak point in the area of fibrosed anterior capsule. The phacoemulsification procedure was quite simple because it was a soft cataract, so it was just phacoaspiration, and during coaxial cortex aspiration I realized that there was a tear. The tear was in the area of coloboma. So after removal of the cortex, I started carefully thinking what to do in this case, and as you will find here, I avoided collapse of the anterior chamber so the tear doesn't progress to posterior side. So you can observe here that the axis of placement of the toric IL is near the area where the anterior capsule is torn. So I wanted to know how you will proceed if you are the surgeon. Now let me tell you how and what I did in this particular case. So I had planned to use toric IL by Hoya. It is Vivinex toric, and it's a very nice toric IL which I have used in quite a few cases. It has textured rough haptic surface which fixes the IL well, with the ozonated posterior surface which sticks to the posterior capsule. Thus its overall stability in the bag is quite remarkable. So when I analyzed the situation, I realized that though the axis of placement is quite near to the area of tear, if you see the haptics when it is placed, it can have almost 2 to 3 clock hours of good support of the equator of the bag. And with this kind of IL which sticks well and doesn't rotate, I decided to go ahead with the toric IL implantation. This is Vivinex toric IL by Hoya. I have placed hyaluronate in the anterior chamber to maintain the chamber, and in the area of coloboma I have kept chondroitin hyaluronate combination to avoid any prolapse of the vitreous as well as maintaining the chamber. So now what I am going to do here is I am going to use the technique which I call pull release technique, where I don't rotate the IL in the bag, but rather I just pull the haptic and then release it in the bag, thus avoiding any rotational movement inside the bag. So this will be done for both the haptics. You can see the hyaluronate is providing very good chamber maintenance here, and the maneuvers are very well controlled without any collapse of the anterior chamber. And then the final nudging so that the marks are aligned according to the Z line on the Callisto, which is a markerless system I am using. And now I hydrated the incision because at the end I don't want any anterior chamber collapse. I am going to use low IOP for the aspiration of the viscoelastic here. Hyaluronate usually comes off very quickly, and the chondroitin and hyaluronate combination, which is viscoat or hylucoat, what I am going to do is I am going to leave little bit of that in the area of coloboma to avoid any collapse, and just remove rest of the viscoelastic. Again I am going to hydrate the side incision and start reducing the IOP by reducing the bottle height or IOP, and then gradually withdraw this probe to avoid sudden collapse of the anterior chamber. And again, immediately I am going to hydrate the main incision again, which I already hydrated before. So all these maneuvers are done to avoid any anterior chamber fluctuations, to avoid the prolapse of the IOL out of the bag. So you can see now the haptics are nicely placed in the bag. The axis is exactly as per the Z-align axis, and I made sure that after removing speculum also the AC remains formed. So of course we are curious what is the result, whether it rotated, what was the visual outcome, and this is what the position is after 1 month of surgery. You can see the textured haptic there, right, going into the bag, and nice fibrosis around it, indicating that the IOL is now well fixed in the bag and it's not going to rotate any further. You can see the overall, the IOL is well placed despite the anterior tear in the inferior part, lobomatous area. The IOL is well centered, and this is the visual outcome. Very minimal astigmatism, uncorrected visual acuity of 20/20 parts. And I use the iToric Patwardhan app to check the placement of the axis, which is at 100 degrees, just 3 degrees of the 97 degrees axis which I wanted, which is very good outcome. Now other options suggested by colleagues were to implant a monofocal IOL in the bag perpendicular to the tear. We can use 3-piece IOL as well, and we can correct the astigmatism by either LRI or any corneal refractive procedure later. Posterior CCC also can be done and place the IOL with the posterior optic capture. So that can be done, but it's a little bit of difficult procedure and maybe unpredictable. CTR should not be used in such cases because it will enlarge the tear further and it serves no purpose in cases of anterior capsular tear. Now after seeing my case, I would like to put a disclaimer that I do not recommend to put toric IOL in each and every case where there is a compromised CCC. So decision should be taken by the surgeon on individual case basis, but definitely putting the toric IOL in this manner is an option. For more such videos, do subscribe to my YouTube channel and also visit our website phacotraining.org.in. Thank you.